Come join me as I build my dream car, the Porsche 911. I am being 100% honest when I say that I think this is the most beautiful car that's ever been made. I have always loved it since I was a young child, and can't tell you how excited I am to actually have this set. I wanted it for a good long while, but I just hadn't really been able to pick it up before, and so here it is, and I'm really excited to build it. I think it's going to look amazing. Although I am a little bit intimidated with all of these pins and special pieces that we are going to use, because this is definitely not, let's see, my cup of tea as much. I don't mind doing it, it's just I struggle with it a little bit more. And I built the Aston Martin, the Bond car that they did, and I messed it up in a couple places. And so I'm a little bit concerned that I might do something silly here, but we're going to give it a whirl here. Let me see. This just goes into this one. For some reason I was thinking it needed to connect into those blacks, but it doesn't. That wouldn't make sense. And then we need two more down here. But hopefully, if we pay attention, we'll be able to make this thing look as beautiful as it deserves to look. I loved the Aston Martin. That was just perfect. Two. It's got quite the stylish look, doesn't it? It's all in black. The very first time that I saw one of these cars was in an older Disney movie called Condor Man. And it's probably my favorite Disney movie. It's my favorite movie growing up as a kid. I could watch that movie over and over and over. If you haven't seen it, you're going to have to go find it and watch it. Completely fell in love with it. See if we can put these on like this a bit before putting those little topping pieces on. And they have these cars in it. They were actually probably on the opposing team than you were cheering for in the movie. It depends. But I thought these cars were the coolest cars I had ever seen. The only thing is they're in black in the movie, and that would have been my dream to have them in black. Okay, it goes here so that it butts up to the black. That would have been cool if this car had been in black, but I will take it in white. There's a big chase scene between cars in the movie when you're kind of first introduced to this car. That's my favorite part of the movie. I could watch that part alone over and over again, so. I probably will never own one of these, but you can always dream, right? Oops. Put that down one. We're working down here. We're working, okay. We're working up top on this part. I was thinking we were going to work down there, but we're not. So I think this goes in the middle. And then these extend off the sides there. They've been making a lot of different styles. Porsche has been. They even have like little SUV kind of things. But you cannot beat this classic. This is, I think, the best looking one. Get pretty excited when I see one of these driving around. Now where did I, oopsie. We were supposed to put this little piece in there. I really am going to have to come up with a system to make sure I'm putting all the pieces in, because I just have such a horrible tendency to forget one of them. Figure it out later on. And sometimes that is extremely unhelpful. Such as, that piece wasn't supposed to go in there. This piece goes in first on each side. And then that piece goes in. The Bond car had, because it was Bond's car, it had a whole bunch of different things that it could do. You know, the license plate could spin around, and it had a lot more going into it as far as special features. And whereas this one probably will not have that, which may make it a little bit, hopefully a little bit less of a challenge than that one, but it still looks pretty complicated all on its own. Put that down right here and make a couple of these things. They say to make 2 of these. I can't figure out what's better, white bricks or black bricks, because the white bricks kind of can, well, depending on how you display them, they can look a little dirtier. The scarier issue is unless you have them in a really safe lighting position, they can turn yellow. I hate that. Really don't want to get them near the sun, I don't think. But the black ones are dust so quickly. I'm making 2 of these, and they are going, I'm going to flip this over. They're going to go on this thing. Pop on there on both sides. Oop. Tried to slide up one when it shouldn't have. We're going to keep it turned over. Put this here. That little piece is trying to roll away like it belongs somewhere else. But it doesn't. And then there. Okay, we're going to get complicated right away. Why not? Going to build something nifty, it looks like. Oops, put this way. The Lamborghini was just released this size, and I would also like to have the Corvette. I've kind of been a little bit of a late starter in collecting these. The first one was the Bond car, but that was a no-brainer. I think this one should have been a no-brainer, but when it came out, I think I wasn't building these kind of sets as much, and so I was a little bit more nervous. I've been really branching out. We're going to make 2 of these. I'm really starting to branch out and be braver about what sets that I'm building. Basically, if it has a whole bunch of these pieces and pins, I've stayed away from it. But that's just not going to work anymore. Let's see what we need these on. It's most definitely time to do some exploring. Now let me make sure that we're going to put these in the right spot. It looks like they go partially on this gray. This gray piece will be the guide, and it goes where there's just one stud of gray left, showing after we push it down, like that. Interesting. I build these things, and I like to try to remember different techniques and things that are done, but these kind of sets, I have absolutely no idea how they figure out how to make these things. It's just, I feel like it's beyond my scope of my brain to figure out how they would process through what steps would be needed to get to the, like I understand the outside, you know, the paneling or that kind of thing. That makes sense to me. But all of these inner workings, I'm like, how would you even start? Confuse me to no end. I'm actually surprised. I think there's only 10 bags. I guess I thought that there would be quite a bit more. We need a little red grooved pin there. But I have a feeling that they might be pretty large size bags with lots of pieces in them. I'm going to make sure I'm getting everything pushed down there. There's lots of different places. These little ones go in. Inside of there, there's 2 blue pins that you can push them into. And one more little red pin up here. I actually like the grooved pins better because they seem to go in a little bit easier than these kind of regular pins that fight me. Oh, okay, bag 2. Oh goodness, was I right? There's a lot of pieces in this bag. It's gonna take us a minute probably to find the first pieces with all of these in here. That's a nice color to put into it. Need a couple cylinders in there. I was out in the garden the other day, and we have a butterfly bush out there. I'm gonna make 2 of these. And oh, that is not the right piece. I've never seen so many butterflies. There are so many butterflies. And Wally, my puppy, thinks that it's the best thing in the world to go out. You know in The Lion King, where Pumbaa and Timon say they're bowling for buzzards? Well, Wally likes to bowl for butterflies. He goes out and he just kind of crashes into the bush, and butterflies go flying everywhere. I don't know if he's actually trying to eat them. I think he just thinks they're fun to play with, because he has actually caught a carpenter bee a couple times now, but they're not stinging him, so I'm guessing it's a male. Oops. He hasn't caught a butterfly yet. There are butterflies everywhere, and it's been so hot. And I got to thinking, and I was like, you know what? I think we might need to actually help these butterflies out a little bit. So I had a shepherd's hook that you can hang things on that I wasn't using anywhere at the moment. I'm looking for, oh, here we go. And so I went and I got a little hanging, dish that you can do for like, well, you could probably put birdseed or water, bird bath, basically a little bitty hanging bird bath. And I put it out there with some pebbles in it for them to have a little puddling area so they could get some water. I don't know why this piece was so hard to find. because I've been kind of worried for him with it being so hot. The bees can get a little drink too. I actually read somewhere that the butterfly bushes, because they're not native to our area, this person was very much against planting butterfly bushes. And you have to forgive me because I kind of found it very humorous, but they said that the nectar from the flowers of the plant were like junk food for the butterflies. I was like, it's a plant. How is that junk food? And they had a good point to make. I lost another piece. It's black. There we go. Got a little bar on the end. They said that because it's not native, they don't necessarily lay their eggs and different things like that. So it's not as useful as if you had a native plant, which I totally understand. And as far as what's junk food for butterflies or not, I cannot say that I'm educated in knowing what is junk food and what's not, but that just was hilarious to me. I was like, now I go out there and there's butterflies everywhere, and I'm like, oh, eating your junk food again, guys. Did you have your proper dinner first? I'm sorry, it kind of cracks me up. And the funny thing is, the person is probably right. It's probably for some reason not as healthy for them, but they don't seem to mind. So there I am, feeding all the junk food to the butterflies. Let's see, this one goes over here on this side, but it doesn't go on the other side. Oops, the page isn't turning. It's trying to turn double on me. Skip a whole bunch of steps. We need this piece back here, or this pin, and then another pin up here. Kind of random. So I figured to make up for the junk food, I would give them some water, because that's healthy, right? That didn't want to go in there. Sneaky little thing. This goes back here. Philip. I'm going to make sure I count these properly. There are 2 of these. And there are 2 of those. And 2 go back here. Put just 1 of these in there. Goes like that. You've got to wonder what in the world we are making. To be more precise, you have to wonder. So funny, sometimes something will slip out and I'm like, oh, bad grammar. When I was teaching my kids, I would constantly be correcting, and then you catch yourself doing it and you're just like, oh wow. How did that one slip out? They kind of did a nice little snap, didn't they? Two of those and 4 of these, and they're going to go down here. This is interesting. I meant to look up, I noticed that the license plate, I was wondering with the numbers on it if it actually had some sort of special significance to it, or if it was just kind of a random collection of numbers. I meant to look that up and see. It might be actually in the front of the book, and I should have just paid a little bit more attention. I go straight to building, and then I read the first part of the book a lot of times for these sets afterwards. Probably be the more beneficial if I would read it to begin with. There I go, being hasty again. Go. What I actually got excited about, I was thinking about it. I actually got excited realizing that we're getting closer to football season. And let me clarify for anyone who might be watching from internationally. I'm speaking of this needs to come over here, American football. Because I know that in other places, football is, to them, football is what we call soccer. You would think that we could just work together on that one so we didn't confuse us all, but I'm getting excited for American football. And my team is the Denver Broncos. We are going to attach this on, but I'm going to try to make sure I know exactly where this is going in at because it's a little bit confusing. It's going on top of it. It's not like connecting like that. It's going on top. This black piece is going on top of the yellow plate underneath of there, I believe. That looks correct. I remember when I was just a little bitty thing, and my dad got tickets to go to a Broncos game. Would you believe I can't remember exactly the opposing team? Let's see, no, I need one more. I was like, those are in there, but it's not. I need one more of these, and he's going to go in here. Oh my goodness, I think I put a pin in wrong. I think that this pin, oh goodness, now I'm never going to be able to get it out. Let's see if I can get it out with this. We have some storms getting ready to roll in, and I think that all of the wind has the dogs kind of completely freaked out. I think the pin was supposed to be on that side because they want us to put this little red piece in, but it looks like it's into two pins there. Yeah. I had to flip that pin around. And I need two of these. I'm trying to figure out exactly where they go. Oh, up here. But these tickets were on the 50-yard line, like 10 rows up from the field. It was my first experience with going to a football game, and one I will never forget. And I fell in love with the Denver Broncos then, and I've never looked back. Very faithful to my team. Ups and downs. John Elway was playing that game. That'll date me a bit, but it was wonderful. I'm not saying we've been super good in any of the recent years, but you know what? A fan is faithful 100%. So I have high hopes for them every single year. And I yell at them a lot every single year. But maybe it has to be our year 1 year. It'll have to come around again, I think. This says the rear seats were very small. the 911 was termed a 2+2 rather than a 4-seater. Oh, that's kind of funny. I am really trying to figure this out. I'm trying to figure out exactly how this goes. I'm holding the car just like they have it pictured, and I think this flips up on end and pushes into there. We made a little seat. Look at that. It's a cute little seat. I like that. Wonder what you could put back there. Your luggage, your puppy. Maybe if it was a small puppy. Very interesting. I've never even seen in one of these kinds of cars. Now I want to see how small it is. Oops. I didn't even realize we were making a seat there. I didn't think we were at that point where we would be that close to putting one in. Oh goodness. I really sent that one flying. We'll grab him in a minute. Sometimes those are just extra spares. They always have one, so maybe that'll be a spare and I can get it later. Make sure that I've done that right. Yes, and it looks like this goes all the way over, so it's going to overhang there a bit, but I think that's correct, so we'll go with it and see. Oh, these are kind of fun. And put these on, but then we're going to aim them downwards and put them into these holes that are in those studs right there. Interesting. They've got it kind of aiming slightly up. I'm not sure if that's important or not. Okay, we have this in here, and then we're going to put this into there. I don't know why that confused me. I think it was because it was looking at this angle, it had a red here. I thought we were supposed to stack something else, but no. Wait, we're not done yet. We got to put this in here. That goes in there. I don't know why that part confused me, but it sure did. Now, we have that there, and then this is supposed to go in here, but I'm trying to figure out, they have it at an angle. Oh, okay. So this piece right here, I put it at an angle because it's actually going to be the part that attaches right there. Wow, that's different. Very cool. I'm going to put this here. Oh, that also attaches because that piece is in the main part. So when we put that on, it's going to hold that angle steady. Oh! Wow. Fail. Trying to put it down and everything starts coming off. I'm going to do another little part here. Sometimes there's parts that they come off real easy until they've kind of got to the end of whatever part they were being built on. So you can easily kind of pop them off. And it can get frustrating, but you just kind of gotta hold steady until you get whatever it is that's we'll hold it down. I want to make sure that I got all of the pieces in for that because I feel like that went. I'm gonna double check something. Oh, yeah, okay, I did. I put that little blue pin in. Turn the page. I was going backwards and going to put another one of those in. I'm like, wait a minute, something's not working here. That's funny. Put that in there. I am wondering if we're making the other side. Oh, this goes back one. Oops. I didn't see that, didn't catch that one. Because it feels familiar. Yeah. I think we're going to put it on the other side. It's kind of like the part of the back wall or something coming up on it. Nope, that's not the right one. Oh, yes, it is. We have to put him this way. We turn it upside down and put it in that one. That's the piece that has the holes in the top of the studs. I think I have things figured out, and then I completely stumped myself. Don't have it right at all. This is going to go in here. That'll be the part that connects it. Kind of an intricate little part. It's got a whole lot of things going on in it that you want to make sure that you're getting right, because I just know that if we get it wrong, we're going to pay later. We're going to turn it around, and then we're going to do the same thing we did before, and it's going to connect right here. And then we'll take this little guy and secure the angle. There we go. We just repeated everything. We got one more part to do again. Make sure we'll put that little blue, we had to put the blue pin in to get this little round tile on. Couldn't think of the name of that. It's like, what is that? Yeah, these are flats and these are tiles. I'm going to flip it around like that and put it in there. Well, that wasn't too hard, was it? It took a little bit of thought, but wasn't too bad. I think we've done 2 bags in a really good amount of time. I feel very efficient at the moment. Move that over one. No, it goes up there. Oh my goodness. Now this is going to go on top of, see, there's a cylinder there that it's going to attach into. And the other cylinder goes on that black part that's down there. At least that's what I can see. Like that. I love how, look at how we're, because the back of the car slips, look at how we're working that perfect angle. That's beautiful. Okay, bag 3. 3 looks like it's a little bit smaller of a bag. Oops, so we can put him down for a second, and we're going to go ahead and put these little, that's funny, this little round plate that I flung was an extra. Just have to make sure I get it before the puppy finds it. And now we can put them on here. Go on both sides. Trying to figure out exactly how that goes. It's funny, it goes like this where it overhangs. I'm pretty sure. What cars have you built in your collection? There's the Mustang, and there's the Corvette, and then there's the Porsche, and then the Aston Martin, kind of in this style. Let's go down here like that. You have the Technic cars, which I'm absolutely terrified of, but there's one that is coming out. I'm not going to remember the name of it, because I'm not that brilliant at the moment, but it's coming out in on August 1st. And I'm tempted. I'm tempted to purchase it and do my very first Technic car, and I haven't figured out if it's a good move or not. If I do, I'll build it with you, and I'll muddle through it and see what we can come up with. At the very least, it would be humorous to watch me do it. This is going to go on top of it, but it's not going to come all the way down on top of those. I don't know, there's something about this car that was, we're going to turn it up on end. Oh, we're supposed to build 2 of these. I missed that at the beginning. I'm trying to keep a watch out for those so that I can build them up at the same time, but that wasn't too hard to do. We can whip another one of those up. Yeah, but there was something about this car that I was like, you know what? And it's not super huge. So I thought I might be able to handle that. I'm gonna have to get the name of it. Here's this one. I always wanted to be a mechanic growing up. My dad was. And did a science fair project one time where I got to take apart a lawnmower engine and see how it worked, and I really enjoyed that. And let's turn the page and see where in the world these are going. So it looks like they're going to go on either side, and they're just going to fit in there like that. And there's one connection point on each side back there. Probably making a hub for the wheel well. That's probably not the right word. It might be. It might be. One of these, one of those. Oh, that's nice. That secures that nicely down. And over here. Because it didn't feel like I had a super good connection, but this will do the trick. Now, why in the world? Very interesting. That is because we need to move it over one more. There we go. Like that. We're going to just do a whole secure job here. Get this all in there nice and proper. And then we'll turn it around and we'll do that on the other side. Where are you? Hiding from me. Telling me whites and black pieces my eyes don't see. There we are. They just kind of disappear. Push that down really well, and then go back over here and do this. Very nice. We've secured that whole angular piece. Now, where in the world does this go? Okay, we're going to put this here. I think I'll put this on first. And they want us to do the same on both sides. From what I can tell. Yeah. It's kind of tricky. They only show one side, and then they say, can you copy it on the other side? And you're like, okay, I hope I'm doing this right. Oh, I did it again. These pieces have got to get secured down soon. We're going to start having an issue with each other. Oh, look at this. This is lovely. Isn't that nice? Printed piece. heard it said one time, and I don't know if this is correct or not, but I heard it that they do stickers and they don't do printed pieces if it's not something that they can use in other sets. If it's just like specific for that set, and wouldn't necessarily. And I don't completely follow that, because like this, how many sets would this be in? Maybe with some of the more elite sets, they get to have a special printed piece. But it does actually make a little bit of sense, because if you think about the pieces that are printed, you're like, yeah, that piece is in that set, So it is kind of an interesting thought, but I'm not sure it would be accurate 100% of the time, but it might be leaning towards the right direction at least. I'm going to flip it up here. That one goes there, but don't forget this little, oops, 1x4 plate. Kind of slides in there like that. Some orange pieces in here. I just noticed those. Wow. I only have eyes for the piece I'm looking for. No wonder I missed so much. Just one over here. They don't have it. Interesting, they don't have it the same on both sides. So they're wanting us to put no, they need to go up one. I put this one down too low. See if we can get it loose. Put them, there we go. And then they go here on each end. You know, it really is looking like the bumper to a car there. We're going to flip it like that. I thought this would be a lot harder. But he's been very enjoyable to build so far. Now, how in the world? Oh, okay. It goes like that. It doesn't go on in that connection. It's going to use the full bottom connection and go on top of it like that. And that makes sense. A couple little curves. Yep, that's exactly what we were putting on. Putting on the bumper. Now this is a little interesting though, because I have this thing. Oh, it's got to go above it. Oh, I'll bet you that's the tailpipe. I'm like going way above the camera there. Okay, this is, there we go. Give it a little bit of a, oh, I just dropped something off. There we go. Where in the world did you come from? Under here. How did I manage that? That is because it goes this way. Because it's got to connect up here. It had to connect multiple places. You know what? That piece isn't going to come off anymore. Thank goodness. I'm going to go ahead and put its branding right up there. That's beautiful. Maybe these are the taillights. And they're going to go in, nope, in here like that. Oh, wait a minute. That's not going to work. That's got to be straight on. Everything has to be perfect on this car. Oh, forgot to put the little, oh no, he's on there. I just blended in so well on that side. Ooh. Nice coloring. We're going to make 2 of these. And they go, yeah, with the black towards the back. And then, look at this nifty piece. And that's going to go there. I'm so in love with this car. He looks so good. Oh, you ready for some sleek lines? Oop, push it down there. Look at that. Oh, beautiful. That is nice. Okay, we're going to turn it around this way so we make sure, and then we're just going to put these curved pieces along here. There's nothing boxy about this beauty. Not that boxy is bad. Because my next favorite car is a Bronco. A Ford Bronco. I know. Don't ask. I wonder if you're hearing the thunder that's going on. We have a storm developing. We're going to turn it over. Well, well. I was right after all. There's our tailpipe. Okay. It's looking so good. Okay, on to bag 4. I had to step away last night from filming because all chaos broke loose here. Our older girls were getting ready to go, they're flying out to see their grandparents, and when they were at the airport, they were unable to check in because they were affected by the Microsoft Global disaster that is just now happening while I am filming this. And it was just for their airline. The first night, let me pause for a second because we're actually building the engine, and this is the heart of the engine, and they put a red brick in there. Isn't that adorable? It's some sort of air-cooled 6-cylinder boxer engine. I'm guessing that means it's a little boxy. Anyways, they waited at the airport forever, and nothing was happening, and it was getting so late, and so Matt went and talked to the attendants there, and they were like, yeah, it's better to just go home. So it was just crazy. We were able to today get them on a flight. They are going to miss 2 days of their trip because we're having to wait for an opening. Just crazy. And I mean, we thought it was just the one airline that they were on that was having problems with it all. And then we woke up. Oh, turn it this way. We woke up and they went down. They went down to the airport, back down, because they couldn't get anybody on the phone. And I was like, you're going to have to go actually talk to somebody in person, or you are not making it on this trip. So they showed up at the airport expecting it to be dead. They were there so early in the morning. We woke up so early. It wasn't even light out yet. We were stressing about what to do, and they got there and it was crazy. There were news people everywhere, the news channels. There was crowds and crowds of lines because a whole bunch of other airlines had been hit that morning and they were down. It was just absolutely insane. So that's been interesting. So there's the fan. It's going to cool our engine. I believe it looks like it's coming up above it, so I'm going to put them in these bottom 2 holes because I think it comes up above it. And then we're going to actually put our engine in here. And I think it's going to sit all the way down in there on top of those red pieces, because it looks like the opening is big enough. But there we go. you kind of have to encourage it. I'm gonna look underneath here to see if I can, because this one right here is not snapped in. There we go. Nice. Nice engine. And I think we're going to build up some seats soon. It looks like an awful lot of that color. Kind of the ironic funny thing was, oh, you know what we're building? I think it's the, oh my goodness, what is it called? Because we have an automatic car, but this wouldn't be. It would be the gear shift stick or something, maybe? I'm probably not saying that right. I think it helps him change the gears. And I think we're going to build up some seats. The funny thing is that when the girls came home last night, they are young enough that haven't done a whole lot of traveling, especially on their own, even though they are young adults now. And so they, it's all very unsettling and stressful and everything. And I was like, well, these kind of things happen and stuff. And they're like, this is not normal. I'm like, well, no, it's not normal. But I was like, you kind of just, have to look at the experience. And, I was like, just think about it. You're part of the, history, so to speak, of this major, outage that took place nationwide with this airline company. And they're kind of just looking at me like, I'm like, you're a part of history. You can look back and, tell your kids and everything. I was trying to encourage them, And then this morning we woke up and it is all over the news, and it is not just one airline in a nation. It is worldwide, kind of chaos going on. And I looked at the girls and I'm like, see, I told you were a part of history. I'm not sure they appreciated it any more in the light of day, but it was kind of funny. Oh, that's a cool way to make a seat. It's one way to do it. So we have a seat made. And remember these little things we put in here? It's going to snap into those little connectors in that bar we made. Ooh, the seat can move. That's awesome. So you can get in the back. I love that. I'm going to make another one. It looks like we have everything too. Yep. My kids are used to me always trying to find a lesson in everything, I suppose would be the way to say it. Can always learn something from every circumstance that we go through, and they can hopefully make us better people. Last night when Matt had gone to go get the girls, and I didn't know what they were going to do, and I didn't want their whole trip, to be ruined, but I was like, I have no idea what is going to happen. I don't know if we're going to be able to figure it out, if they're going to be able to get out to my parents. And I was just like, I walked outside with the dogs, and I was just standing there in the dark yard. And I just noticed, and I had been noticing for a couple of nights, that there was something missing. Okay, now just give me a second, because we are missing a sloped piece. I'm gonna try that. Oh, no, we're not missing it. I just stuffed it under something. Sounds like me. I'd been noticing that there was this really soft, really delicate smell coming from one area of the garden, and it was happening because it had been raining the past couple days, and it always seemed to be stronger after it rained. I'm going to pop that in just like that, and that one lifts up too. Wow. I'm going to open up bag 5. We'll keep building, and I'll finish my story. Well, bag 5 is huge. It had 2 bags and all kinds of pieces. We're going to build something fun here. I can just feel it. So now where was I? I had noticed this really beautiful smell, and I was like, and I realized, I was standing there and I realized that these certain roses that we had put in, and I noticed in the nursery that they were like very, very pungent smelling roses. They were just beautiful. The first thing I'm going to do is actually put this little rod in that now I can't find. That's pretty typical. Okay, we'll put these in first until I'll go back and find it. I think these go in here. So we put 2 of them in there, kind of like ground cover roses. They stay shorter than everything else, and they have these lovely pink flowers on them. Now, where in the world? There you are. And we had planted one in the front and one in the backyard, and I noticed they release a stronger scent right after it rains. I thought, isn't that interesting? So I was outside with my daughter today, again with the dogs. We hang out a lot outside with the dogs. And I took her over to the roses, and I said, you know, there's something very interesting about these roses. She's like, what? And I'm like, well, they smell a whole lot sweeter after the rain. Oh, this is a cool piece. Never seen this piece before. Okay, they're saying don't do something, and I'm like, well, what is it that I'm supposed to do? This little cup that's in here, they want it to face up, not sideways. I'm not sure how you would face it sideways, but like that. I think it's what they're saying. They're confusing because I'm like, we could put it in where it was down, but there's no real way of putting it in the way they say to put it in. That's very interesting. Okay, we're going to just do it this way and hope that we're doing it right. She said, there's no way that you just said that you're going to use roses to teach a lesson. And I'm like, you know, when they're adults, you know, becoming young adults, you have to be much more careful with your lessons. They're not your kids anymore. You can't just go around telling them what to do. And I'm like, well, I just thought it was interesting, you know, because if we go through, she'd already caught on where I was going. I'm like, you know, we go through something, you know, tough, if we can come out of it, you know, with our character smelling sweeter. And she's just like rolling her eyes and laughing. She was having fun with it. She's like, she's a biology major. She's like, you know, there's actually a reason for that, of why they do that and stuff. So we were talking about that, and she was like, you know, they're doing it to attract the bees, you know, to pollinate and all this stuff. And she was like, and then she steps into it completely herself, because she said, they're doing it to benefit the ecosystem or something around them. And I was like, yeah, isn't that really cool that they're able to be a positive benefit to those around them after a difficult storm or something? And she's just like, at that point we were in with the rest of the family, and they were just completely cracking up and losing it. But it is an interesting thought, isn't it? What if we went through really stressful experiences, and the character that we brought out of it was something that smelled sweet like a rose and could bless and benefit society around us? This is fun. My kids laugh at me and say, you are never going to stop being a mom. And finding the lesson and training and everything. Like, I know. But I really do try to give them their space. We're going to, this is funny because it's just spinning everywhere, but I think they want one of these facing up when we put this in. Kind of like that. And I think it would be the same on this side. I don't know if it would flip around enough that it matters, but we're gonna, let's turn it because the thicker part's supposed to be towards the outside, if that makes sense. This part is deeper. This is so much fun. Okay. I'll put that down for a minute. A lot of lessons are learned the hard way, though, aren't they? I've learned so many of my lessons similar to that in life. To be peaceful through circumstances the hard way, because it is not my normal nature to be calm through difficult times. And Matt, it is his normal nature to be calm, and so he's really taught me a lot. And kind of panicking and getting frustrated and angry at situations, it doesn't actually help anything. And he's right. So I've been working throughout my life of trying to kind of find a new way of dealing with things. And we put that in there. Oh, they're wanting us to hook it to this. I'm like really confused here. This is going to come through. But that doesn't make any sense because it's supposed to go in there. All right. There's this hole between them. Push it in there. Whoa. They're just doing whatever they want up here. What are we making? Oh. I think we're making the tire. Maybe what holds the tires on? Because the engine's back there. Is there more of an engine in the front? I don't know. No, I think we're making the... Oh my. Let me check something. I am extremely proud of myself at the moment. I am the mother of a mechanical engineer. And I have done my mother's duty, and I have sat through phone call after phone call. Oh, there's these fun parts again. Now this one, it is going to go where these are down. The little cups are down. Phone call after phone call, hearing about a suspension on a Baja car that my son did in school for quite a few years. Uh-oh. I just made a mistake. I'm going to have to take those out, but those, I did it, it's supposed to be in these two holes. Sorry, not in that one. And I'm like building this and I'm like, this seems really familiar because I have heard, so I'm not an engineer. I'm not anywhere near a mechanical engineer. I wouldn't know what in the world I was talking about if you tried to get me to talk about it, but I have read papers that my son wrote on it. I have listened and listened. I have seen him work in his computer program when he was home on breaks. I'm trying to do all of this stuff. I played my part by being 100% supportive as much as I could. And you know what? I think I learned something. Because I am pretty confident that this is the suspension of this car. Now, I could be wrong. And if I was, I wouldn't be upset at myself because I really don't know what the heck I'm talking about. I have absolutely no idea how this is going in here. Oh my goodness, what are you doing? I think it goes like that. Okay. Really, kind kind of funny because I would think that this should move a little bit more. You know what? I don't know what this is, but I don't have a clue what I'm doing. This needs to go into this gray peg. There we go. Okay. It was way too free slipping around there. And then, let's see. Nope. Yep. This goes like that. We had it turned the wrong way. Why do I feel like... See, I'm figuring it out, but it's sure taken me a minute. These are supposed to be attached into those little cups. Oh, spin around here. You see that? Okay. Ooh, we have movement. Yep, because we have a gear going on here. Ooh, I'm getting this down. Now, these are going to be attached up into these as it snaps together. So now it's all together. Well, it took me a minute, but I figured it out, and I think we just have the steering mechanism down to the wheels. Wow. See, you learned something. But I never thought I would actually look at something like this and be like, hey, I think I know, this looks very familiar. Because I do not know the inner workings of a car. Yeah, I know more than I thought now. I have gotten smarter. We're going to make 2 of these. So there you go. We'll have to see if I'm right about it, because I was like, I know that this suspension is it has to do with the shock absorption and all of that in the car, but I was like, but I also think that it connects the, I'm going to turn this around. I'm working at it from this angle, and these are supposed to go into here? No. Turn it up. I have given fair warning that I do not build Technic sets. If I figure this one out. Look at that. I think it goes there. We're going to attach it onto the car, which is an absolutely terrifying thought. Okay, it's going to go. It looks like 2 holes are visible here. And so then it's going to fit into... Oh my goodness, it's got pins. It's got blue pins on the bottom. It's got the pins on the top. There we go. Ooh, look at that. Interesting. Does a car turn? Yeah, well, they wouldn't turn both ways, would they? I mean, they wouldn't both turn the inwards or outward. No, yep, that would make sense. They would go the opposite. This is kind of fun. But I was like, okay, first of all, I wanted to confirm what the suspension was. And then second off, I was like, do the tires attach to that? Is the tire connection point a working part of the suspension? And from what I just read, it is. So, there you go. Now I have to call my son. He just might be proud of me. I don't know what we're working on here. I'm sure it's still all part of it. Goes that way, and then this goes on. Funny little thing. Okay. I need one more piece on this page. I hope they don't make us build 2 of these. Because I'm like struggling to keep up with how many pieces they're putting on. No. All right. This is going to go this way. I'm trying to make sure that this little thing is facing the right way, because if you turn it this way, it moves this way. And if you turn it up and down, it moves that way. Doesn't matter. Here I am trying to be a genius. It's going to go And this is the part that's really confusing me because it looks like it's just like hanging completely mid air here and not attached to this. Oh, it isn't attached. They want us to put it into, I had to look at the other page. Basically, we're just trying to put it into this kind of pin. Wow. Not working. Into this here. Oh, this is going to be the steering. And then we're going to take another one of these and we're going to attach it onto here. But while we do that, we're going to attach it down here into that. Okay. We've connected the wheels to the steering gears here. I'm doing something right. It's moving. Let's put the steering wheel on. With a tight steering wheel, you'd have to have skinny legs. All right, we're going to actually make the front bumper now. I might be able to do this with a little bit more ease. But that was a lot of fun. It would be interesting to build cars. I can't even imagine just watching my son work on the Baja car. Oh, yep. What it takes to make it all work together is just pretty incredible. And so to make one that not only is a working car, but to make it then have the safety protocols and get the correct amount of speed, and I mean just everything that would come out. I just can't even imagine. That would be very, very impressive. Actually, I've been paying a little bit more attention to NASCAR this year and some racing, which is interesting. It's never really been my thing, but I could never figure it out. They just go in a circle. A Formula One, I could get a little bit more, and I would start reading some articles on it. And I was like, this is very interesting because they're talking about things. These drivers are talking about things about, how this wasn't working or this felt tight or this, and then you start hearing about strategy involved. And I was just like, okay, what in the world is going on here? I thought they just went out there and, kind of got, raced, absolutely, get ahead of the other guy, cross the finish line first type of thing. But it's actually a lot more complicated, than just that. It is a huge strategy game, and the mechanics, from what I can tell, are constantly having to work to improve this, that, or the other on the car. Let's do a couple of these, but they have to be kind of different from each other. Yeah, pretty amazed at what is going on there. There is a lot going into that, and so it was cool actually being able to see that. I think that happens a lot of times. You don't know about something, but then if you actually paid attention to it, you would start finding, oh, this is why people are into this, or this is why these drivers or these athletes are considered so elite, because what they're doing, they make it look easy, but it's not at all. Beginning to really like the white on this car. This is going to go on top of this. It's just, yeah, okay, it's going to come up as much as it can. And I'm trying to find the connection point where it's going to actually snap down on it. There we go. Oops. My camera's blurry and I'm trying to... There we go. It just snapped down. It was almost even with that. Now, this is very interesting because they want us to put these in, but they're almost showing it that it's going to go... They're going to go upside down, which doesn't make any sense at all. I'm pretty sure I put this on wrong. I think it's supposed to go like this. This red and tan piece are supposed to be the ones that are showing upward of that. And then these would go in. Like that. Which is what I was not catching. But I'm pretty sure that that's how it is working. And then this goes on top of there. Yeah, that's very interesting. I'm not sure why we have so many connection points under here, but it wouldn't work the other way. So it must have to go that way. This has been a big bag. It's doing its best to stump us, isn't it? One of these goes right here. And then we're going to turn it this way. It's always these triangle pieces that confuse me of how exactly they're turned. It goes like that. And we still have it facing this way. I thought, let's watch out for them to flip it over on us. Now they're going to flip it over on us. Okay. I knew that was going to come. They have created it to where we can work off the tops of both sides of this, and that is talent indeed. The back bumper was a whole lot easier. That goes there. And reverse the side of the brick here. Put this over here. The thing I can't figure out is which side goes up and which side goes down when you actually attach it to the car. I may never get my dream car, but I can say that I built my dream car. Now, how does this go in? Oh, it goes on the side. There's a stud right there on that piece. We need to make 2 of these little pieces that are trying to confuse us. Sneaky of them. I've been actually having to kind of look a step ahead on some of these things to figure out what they're actually wanting me to do. We're going to attach it to the car, and this is going to be the top. So that's the bottom part. There's a lot of pins. We can do this. I've tried to put them in so gently, the pins, but I found that if you just like use more force and just really cram them in there, that they seem to be going in better. I just want to like real gently get the ends of them in, and then, but I'm just like starting to just cram it. This is going to go. This is interesting to me. I don't know why that's there. That's not supposed to be there. I'm going to look back a step to make sure I mess that up deliberately. deliberately, as in I'm seeing things, and I was seeing things. There wasn't one of those dark orange in that spot. It was left open. It was just on these ends here. So I did do that wrong. By mistake. Huh. Another interesting thing. There appears to be a black piece over here. How did I miss that? Check it again. Step 154. We put, oh goodness, where are they? We put these in. And I did everything except forget that they put an additional little piece in right there. I saw the pin and I saw those two things and missed the other. Now we can put this on. I specialize at making mistakes and figuring out how to fix them. It doesn't actually bother me. I figure it's the best way you learn. But you'd think I'd learn a little faster. And then these two here. Because I think I make the same mistakes a lot. So I'm not paying enough attention to them, obviously, and learning my lesson. Takes some people's brains longer than others, right? So this one goes this way, and then we're going to do... Okay, and it fits onto there. And then we'll do this side, but we've got to turn it the opposite way. So I want to make sure I'm paying attention to how that goes. And then this goes on this side over here. And I'm hoping I made it right. Yeah, okay. I was having some problems there with my camera. I got disoriented. And two of these go on top of those little special center studs. Oh, you know what? Oops. Where did I knock that one off of? Oh boy. Well, maybe he wasn't in yet. I'll fix him in a minute. This is like I think this is the brake. Because this is the other thing. At least I think. Put that into there, and then this goes right. Does it go on top of the... I think it goes there. No, that wouldn't be right. It's going to go there. But then that doesn't seem right either, because when you put that on, it's still going to be a step down, and it almost looks like it's flush alongside of it. What have I done? Oh, I see what I've done. I put these, oops, oh, we're never going to get them out. They need to be here. Ah, that one's going to be difficult. This was supposed to have a gap in it. And then it does go down into that. Like that. Okay. That's probably the thing that changes the gears. That's probably the brake. Oh, I didn't knock this off. It's coming up in the next piece. I was like, oh my goodness, how did I just fling a piece off? Leave it up to me to do that. That's a pretty blue. It would definitely be the one to do it though. See, that goes there, and then this goes there. It's interesting. It doesn't look like it'll fit them. From the side it will, because it's got all the different levels that it needs to fit in there. Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, bag 5 was difficult. That was a challenge, but I think we have it all in there, right? And it's looking great. So we'll move on to bag 6. When they told us to open bag 6, they also told us we needed a piece from in here. And it looks like there's 2 of these. One looks smaller than the other. I think this is the one that we need. The windshield is an extra little bag that has the wheels and the 2 big window and windshield. Now, where do they want us to put this? We're going to need the car itself. I might have to push some pieces here. It's behind this. Okay, give me a second because I'm completely lost. Oh, it's back here. On this part right here, they're wanting us to put these. Let's see. There's a lot of pieces in this bag. There and there, and then they want us to do the same over here. It looks like. Years and years ago, we picked up the Trivial Pursuit that was the Lord of the Rings version. I think these are going in like this, snapping into those pieces. So they will kind of come up maybe. And it's always kind of been a fun little game we've played, but there's some of us in the family that don't quite enjoy playing it as much as others because they're not quite as much of fans. Let's call them fans. But what has surprised me over the past year or so was my youngest daughter has actually, she started to watch. I would turn the movies on and she would watch them with me. She's probably watched them more than my other daughter, but she really enjoys like the making of, you know, the films that they do of the making ofs. That's probably not the right way to say that, but anyways, we started watching those together. You know, all the extra discs that you get when you buy the set has all the different, everything that they did, and they're so wonderful. Well, she started to just really enjoy watching those with me, and she has a memory, an incredible memory. It floors me how much she just kind of remembers things so easily. And so she started watching those, paying a bit more attention to the movies, I think, and now we have quite the rivalry going, playing the Trivial Pursuit game together. I used to be able to, if I played with my son, then it was hard to win, but he just, if you play with him, you're probably going to lose, period. I don't know how he's so good at games. It's like he's lucky or something. I don't know, but he just wins everything. So if I played against him, I knew I was going to have a tough time. But if I played against anybody else, you know, they're like, we don't want to play with you because you're just going to smoke us. But now I have got a rivalry on my hands, and we have been having so much fun playing it recently. And we hadn't played in a while, and we pulled it out, and I wasn't quite respecting how much she had been paying attention. And I don't know, a few months ago we pulled it out. And I want to play this, and she was like, well, I'll play with you. And then she just annihilated me 3 times in a row. I wasn't expecting it. I was so floored, and then, well, I got a little irritable. I could not believe it. And so I had to up my game. I had to really get focused. And she thought, oh, well, I've got this in the bag. She's lost her edge. But then I came back and started to do better, which kind of then fueled her. And so we've been playing quite a bit. Every chance we kind of get, we'll pull the game out and we'll have another rematch. And it's been a lot of fun. But now where does this piece go? Oh, it goes down here. And it's kind of gotten to the point where one person wins, and then the next time the other person wins, and we're just kind of bouncing back and forth. We need to spin this around to be able to do what we need to do back here. I won the most recent game, and if you've ever played any form of Trivial Pursuit, you know, you gather all of your little wedges and you put them in your little thing, and then you, oh, we made a door. Wow, didn't catch that. Because I wasn't paying enough attention. It's rambling. Oh, really nice. Should have known that was a door. There's the mirror. Hello. I think we're going to build the other door. That wasn't too hard at all. A lot of times, one of us will have a good day and one of us will have a bad day. So you pretty quickly figure out. I think it's also the luck of the draw there. Because one person will get all the easy questions that everybody knows, and then one person will get every single impossible question that they could get. It seems to always end up working that way. But this time, we were neck and neck the whole time. And we both got all of our wedges, and we're working on getting into the center to get that final question. I was just lucky enough to get into the center before her, and amazingly got a question right. It's always kind of hard. You never know what kind of question you're going to get there and at the end. So, but now she's going to be out to get me. I just know it's going to be brutal next time. There we go. It's like, you are lost. So a lot of fun. Had a lot of fun with that recently. It's kind of fun to have something. Matt doesn't care as much for that because he just, I mean, it's not ever been his thing as much. He enjoys it, but kind of, it's not as much fun when you don't have a clue what you're supposed to be answering. My daughter's also quite the Marvel buff, and she got the Marvel Trivial Pursuit, and I was like, okay, I'll play with you. I don't have a clue. Half the things that she was reading, I'm just like, it's like she's speaking a different language, just like guessing the whole way through. And so I think sometimes Nat feels that way a little bit, but not as much, because he's actually pretty savvy on Lord of the Rings, probably because I go on about it so much, but he loves to play the game Sorry. I'm looking for a little 1x1 flat here, and it seems to be elusive at the moment. Now, where are you, little guy? There you are. It's hiding. He loves that game. I hate that game. It's a simple enough game. It should not be that difficult to play. But I think it hates me, and he beats me every time. It never goes well for me. Kind of one of those things where, could this actually disrupt a marriage, kind of thing? I just try. The one thing that we did recently that actually I was like, oh, this could actually damage our marriage. I was so frustrated. It's just so funny because it's such a stupid thing. It never would have actually damaged our marriage, but I was having a very difficult time with it. He bought me a puzzle, a Lego puzzle that had all yellow heads on it. And here we go. We can put this on now. He bought it for me to do while I was stuck in a bedroom with Teddy Joe, who had to have a surgery for a hernia. Can you believe it? And we were not allowed, whether or not the surgery was going to work was going to be completely dependent upon. Now, how does this go? I did it right. Oh, it just goes in just like that. Just like that. They said it's very difficult to keep dogs still enough for the surgeries to work properly afterwards. And so we had to be extremely vigilant about keeping her still. Not jump. She couldn't jump. She couldn't play. She couldn't run. And so locked me in a room basically with her and we actually took all the furniture out and put a mattress on the floor. And then we had like built up like a ramp of pillows for her to get even up just the mattress height. Okay, this goes right up against that. We got a couple more pieces we need to do here. I don't want to forget those. And so I'm in there, and so I was trying to keep myself busy. Matt got me this puzzle to do, so I sit there and do puzzles. Because I like a good puzzle. This one was the worst puzzle I've ever done in my life. It was hideous. It still makes me frustrated. They were all yellow heads. They all looked the same, except for if you could find a piece that had like a little marker that kind of made sense of which one it went with. But so many of them, the only difference was the eyes or the mouth. It wasn't like they had many other distinguishing parts to them. I think part of it was that I was cooped up for 2 weeks in a room, and that was already frustrating enough, and constantly, no, don't move, Teddy Joe, no, don't do this. And it was, you were just constantly on edge. And then I'm trying to do this puzzle. I got so frustrated at him, which is so silly. It's not like he did anything giving me this. You know, I was just like, why did it make me so frustrated? I was, nope, that goes this way. But the part of the problem is that I don't like not succeeding at something. And so, because he was like, just don't do it. You don't have to do the puzzle. But I'm like, this puzzle will not defeat me. So then I was like, a little frustrated at him. I think he actually got it. If I can remember correctly, I might be wrong about this. But I think he got it as an anniversary present because it was all happening around the same time. I'm like, this is what you got me for our anniversary. A puzzle that's actually going to drive me insane. So just get so... He'd be in there trying to build it with me. And when he came home or something from work, and I would just be fuming. And he was like... And then he'd say, let's just put it up. And that would make me more frustrated because I'm like, no, I'm not going to be defeated by a puzzle. You know, that was an interesting time. We look back on it and laugh. We decided to glue it and frame it. And at first he was like, are you sure you want to glue it? Because you'll never be able to make it again. And, you know, there was a nasty glare because I'm like, I am never, ever making this puzzle again. It's going to be glued to, you know, teach a lesson in perseverance, and a lesson that a puzzle should not cause such frustration. Be more mature than the puzzle, but I'll tell you, I wasn't. Then that one just about drove me nuts. Oh, I just flung that. That's pretty cool. You're probably quickly realizing that I'm quite competitive and very stubborn. Can be a little hot-headed. Poor Matt, huh? Getting to work with me. We're gonna do the little, what are these called? Dashboard? Little control panels. That's a cool way of doing it, isn't it? This is going to actually go inside of here. I don't think Matt's quite as competitive as I am, so he's so much more willing to just keep the peace and not let things upset him, and I'm over there raging. Can you imagine what I'm like when my sports team is on? This says that the Porsche's 911 is only manufactured in the company's factory in Germany. That's pretty cool. I watched a show about kind of like a documentary about different cars that came from different big companies, and mostly sports cars in Europe. And from what I gathered, the cars that come from Germany specialize in being extremely precise. They take pride in that. Where does this go? How in the world? It's like, I think it's fitting in between there. There's like this hole here. And it's, I'm wedging it in there. Let me see if I can push it down. Because it's like, I think this spot goes where this gray piece is there. But then it's kind of like getting it in just right. This is... I don't think that's right. I think it's going up on top of these. Which, it doesn't actually make sense to me. But I think it's because it does that. Let's try to stick it down here. I'm like, nope, it's not fitting. I think we're going to do that right there, and that's how it's getting its angled. Yep. It says to click something. What in the world are we clicking in? Oh. What did we attach it to? It clicked. Oh. It must have been something in here. I don't know. We clicked it in. Some sort of magic happened. Okay, bag 7. It looks like we're going to make the hood to the front here. Okay, so some things I don't know about the Porsche here. And if you know, let me know. So the engine is in the back. I know some race cars are like that. I don't think I was keeping up with it. This one was. Oops, I could put a little red round plate in there. But if the engine is in the back, does that mean any luggage would go under the front hood? These are the things I'm unsure of at the moment. I would be curious to know. Alright, that looks pretty good. I think we're going to build the opposite side over here. Start with this piece. It's not something I normally go around doing, actually investigating how cars work. Maybe I should start doing so. Let's see. Where are you? There you are. I really do think that the ability to have Google, the internet, all of the wealth of information that is online has actually turned me into a little bit of a monster, because I love to know things. And so it's just right at the tip of your fingertips. You know, all you have to do is go online and the answers are there pretty quickly. I'm super careful to make sure that I'm reading from reliable sources, because I know that that can be, you know, a concern, but I always double check sources and stuff. I seem to have missing one of those. There it is. Little grates. These are going to go in down here. But I think of something and I'm like, oh, look it up. I love gaining the knowledge, I suppose. But I wonder sometimes if it's created a little bit of a monster, because now my brain isn't actually content unless I know I'll be laying there trying to go to sleep. And I'll wonder about something. And then it's like, just, try to figure it out in the morning. Nope. I won't sleep well unless I get up and actually figure it out, which is probably not as healthy of a thing. Okay, that got pushed into there and attached right into that little spot, and then we're going to do the same on the other side. That always used to frustrate me when I was a kid and was trying to figure something out in school, and we had the library and we had our textbooks. That's all we had to, kind of try to find the information from. The computers were not something that were a thing. I mean, I think they were there, but I did not have access to them very much. This is interesting. The other one was white, but this one is actually going to be black. Wow. I can't hold it. Oh, we're not doing the other side. It's going in up here. So it's black to match up with the bottom of this bumper. I thought we were doing the other side. Now we're going to kind of just be working over here for a minute. And it always frustrated me so much, because I would be trying to figure something out and I would be looking for the information, but I had limited resources and I couldn't find it, and so I always felt so frustrated. You have to write a research paper or something, and I felt so restricted because I didn't have as much information as I would have liked to have had to been able to write a proper paper. This is a little interesting to me. I'm trying to make sure that I have this lined up right, which I think I do, but now we have an overhang, and I just want to make sure that that's correct, but I just keep making these overhangs going down. I think it's correct though. But then, like, step 4 doesn't have anything being added onto it. So, oh no, it does. I'm like, wow, here we go. I'm getting completely stumped again. I'm getting to double check something. I actually wanted to go through all of the pieces that they say to use for this step and make sure that I had everything, because that one really kind of threw me for a bit of a loop. But it's all there. And put it in just like that. So maybe that's what created a little bit of the beast. Ah, no. Okay, turn that around. What is wrong with my hands today? Slippery. We have now turned it, and we're going to do the same thing to this one over here. It took me a second to figure out we turned it. That doesn't look the same. I'm trying to refuse to think that I'm actually getting older in any way. You know, if you don't think about it, you don't believe it, then it doesn't happen, right? Yeah, right. But I notice things here and there. My eyes don't seem to be as quick as they used to. My kids laugh at me because supposedly I text not like a young person. Like, how does it matter what fingers you use to text? But supposedly it does. And they chuckle at me. You know what? I've earned these miles. Oh, there's the part that's tricky again. Well, let's see if we can not mess up. Now this one goes over here. That's funny. This one goes in first. I'm like, why does it feel like that they did it a little different than last time? It's probably because I was so confused they didn't. It was just, it's all on me. And this goes under here. Get them all in? I hope so. We're gonna wiggle it in there and push everything down. Very nice. This part right here's came up a little bit. Now let's see if we can attach this on without flipping anything out. I need that little piece there and one more of the curved pieces. I wonder how the wheels are going to go on. Oops, here we go. Oh, we're not doing wheels though, we're going to do headlights. This will be fun. I'm going to make 2 of these. That would make sense, wouldn't it? I can honestly say I don't think I've ever been so excited to build a vehicle before. This one is just having so much fun. Okay, it goes like that, where you're pushing it in where this little round tile is. And then, you're going to put the yellow on the blue, I believe, and these are going to sit up at an angle. Whoops. Yeah, kind of at an angle, a little angle. Oh, that's cool. I knew this was my favorite car, but I don't think I realized how much I actually like it until building this. I'm going to have to find a really special spot to display this. Goes in that way. I'm building a lot more sets than I normally ever have with bringing you guys these videos. I love that. But they are piling up a bit around here. I'm trying to make sure this goes... Okay, it's going to go on top next to the blue, or the red. Around flat there. And then we're going to have a bunch of these that are going to go... It looks like 5 on each side. Does it go all the way? Yeah, okay. 1, 2, 3, yeah, 4, 5. Oh, don't slide in there. And we're going to do that on both sides. There's a lot of... Oh! Don't push on that. There's so many sets piling up around the house that I have built, and I'm not sure exactly what to do with them, you know? I thought, well... Do I keep them as, you know, as a collector, which of course is my very first thought, but then I hate to not be able to display them. Wait a minute. Oh, put the wrong one on there. We don't need the shorter one, we need the longer one of these tiles so that it covers up all the way to the lights. I would love to be able to display them, but I have a display problem. There's not enough space to... I'm going to do this same thing we just did here on the other side. So I might have to do a little bit of rearranging and figure out, and then do some rotating of sets. If you have a lot of LEGO sets, what do you do for displaying them? I'd love to know. I'm trying to be better about actually not breaking them down and building my mock builds with them, but actually keeping them preserved in sets. Before I would just break them down and toss them in all of the buckets that were sorted and kind of recycle them in a way, reuse them, but then it's so difficult to pull them back out if I ever want to actually build the set, and it also risks damaging pieces the more you're just building with them, using them over and over, so that kind of scares me. But if they're just going to sit in storage, then it makes a whole lot more sense to... Where in the world does this go? Okay, it goes up there. To at least use them more than just to have them buried somewhere. That doesn't make sense at all. So I thought maybe for the sets that I really love, like this one, it stays completely preserved even if I have to store it for a little bit. But for other ones, we're going to put 2 of these long ones in, then the one with the Porsche symbol, and then the other 2 plain ones. But for ones that maybe I enjoyed, but they weren't like, I wasn't awestruck by them, they can find a new life building new creations. It's kind of where my brain's going right now, but who knows if I'll change my mind. We've got some little clasp in here that we're going to push this into. Oh! Well, don't push it that way. Okay, we're going to try this. We are going to have a problem because we've got everything kind of... Wow, that was never going to work. Sorry, that was going to be very inefficient. I'm going to go try to fix this so you don't have to go see me fumble around, make a mess of myself. We're going to try that again. Don't push too hard on this. I'm actually going to try holding it this way, pushing it in, so we're pushing forces together. There we go. Oh, come on. That's got to be the most beautiful car ever made. Wow, I love it so much. All right. Oh no. This is time to choose. It says the turbo or the, oh my goodness, I don't even know how to pronounce that. Targa? Well, I said that wrong, I can promise you. This is like one of those stories, the books that you can choose which path you're going to take, and you're stressed out because you don't know what's going to happen in the story if you pick the wrong choice. But I'm going to choose this one. I'm going to choose the turbo because this is the one off the movie that I fell in love with the car. It's got the cover on it versus the convertible. So we're going to build this one today together. So we need to proceed to page 182, which I think is the next page. There we go. Turbocharged. And we're going to use bags 8 and 9 to do him. Oh my gosh, that is a lot of pieces that they had us just dump out. Okay, we're just going to start working them down. I looked ahead and it looks like you use bag 8 for both, and then it's either 9 or 10 based on which one you chose, which, speaking of loving knowledge, it says here about the turbocharged, and it says a turbocharger compresses air and forces it more quickly through the engine cylinder to create more power. That's exciting. I think if I had a Porsche, I would want it to be turbocharged. I'm also such a stickler at driving completely by the rules out in town that I probably would take absolutely no risk unless I was in, you know, maybe if they allowed me on a race course where I was allowed to go a little faster or something, but otherwise. I'm the person that fusses if you're going 5 miles over the speed limit. Now where is that piece? That was hiding right here, right in plain sight. I have to be honest with you, there's a reason for that. When I was a teenager, my sister and I were driving to work, and we got stuck up in the mountains. Just 2-lane roads going a lot of places. You know, you don't have big roads because back then it was even smaller up there. Now it's kind of blossomed into a much, way more people live there now and stuff, but We were driving, we got stuck in traffic, and that traffic was going nowhere. I mean, it was stalled on both sides. We were just, well, no, not on one side. The one side was, there was nobody coming. Where in the world? See, I'm telling you, this is going to be difficult with this many pieces out here. And I found the other one right here. But then I can't find. Oh, it's way back here. Goodness. And we sat there forever trying to figure out what to do. Oh, I need this other thing to hook it onto. Because we were going to be late for work. Like, we can't really turn around and go home. We can't really turn around because of the way the road was very easily. And so we just kept kind of waiting with everybody else. Oh, I'm supposed to attach these two together. Hold up here. But how? Oh my goodness, this is like so confusing. It goes like this. Okay, it hooks onto the side of that. I'm guessing that we are putting our turbo part of our engine in. And then we're going to turn it around here and hook it into there. And we waited, I don't know, for an hour or something. It was a really long time that we were just stuck in this traffic, and we finally started to kind of move. And kind of at that point you were figuring there was probably something like a wreck that had happened or something, and we drove by the wreck. So we were trying to get through. It was a very, very bad wreck. And there was, I believe 2 people may have passed away in the wreck. But we got to work, and as we were working that day, we got the news that it was actually one of the people that had passed away was the brother of one of our coworkers. And it was just heartbreaking. It was really, really heartbreaking. And there had been speeding going on. The brother wasn't the one driving, but... And I think I realized then, it was like, there's no place that I need to get somewhere fast enough that is worth risking the life of anybody. That was actually before I started driving. And so when I got my driver's license, I became the person that follows the rules and tries to be really careful driving, because I saw firsthand the pain and the consequences of what can happen with a friend and their family. Oh, this is cool. Wow. You know, I was thinking that the engine was kind of pitiful. I was like, really? That's all? This little fan was all they were going to put in there? Oh no, here we go. It's going to get awesome here. Although I have no idea. Oh, okay. We got to put it. Now, how in the world are we going to push it in there, right? I know it's supposed to go on that little thing right there. First of all, okay, we can do this. If you go straight, it's not going to work, so bend that. There we go. Now it'll fit in there. And we can connect it. This is a little difficult. There we go. And then we somehow have to connect it to this blue pin in it. Oh, without popping it up. I kind of wonder if we should put it all together before we stuck it in there. Okay. Could go in a little bit more, but I'm going to call it good enough. Nice. Now I have my turbo engine. Still a whole lot of pieces left on here. Gonna just keep fumbling through. And that goes in there. I'm so excited that they're actually working more on the engine. I didn't want to say that I was disappointed before, but I was like, oh, come on. Now we're looking for this tiny 1x1 plate. I'm sorry, tile. Put that there and then do a whole bunch of these. A whole bunch of them. There we go. Okay, so let's flip it over and it looks like these three are going that way, and then we'll spin it up there. This is going to go, it looks like they're just putting it over the top of that. I'm guessing it just goes right there. It kind of looks like it's coming up one. Yeah, okay, it's coming up when it leaves a hole back here. It's coming up closer to the edge of this fan. It says since day one, the 911 Turbo has been, wait, let me see what piece I'm finding, positioned as a sports car that's also suitable for day-to-day driving. That may mean that it's easy for non-race car people to actually be able to handle it. Because aren't some race cars really, really difficult to control? And wouldn't be necessarily good for... Wait a minute, that has something special on it. They do say... Okay, now wait a minute, let me look at something here. Okay, pay attention. It says this first one that's by the right should have, where'd it go? Where did I put it? Okay, here we go. Should have this special white swoosh on it. And then it looks like the other ones are the ones that are just clear all the way through. Like that. Now where? Here we go. Can you believe how many pieces we've dumped out? Oh, it's the back windows. Okay, they're gonna go here. Is that angle piece that you can fit them perfectly in. Oh, nice. Now we're going to work on the other side. Back window here. I love how everything's at these angles, and but then it feels so curvy all at the same time. Now we need this swoosh one to go on this side. That's interesting to me. Did we put the wrong swoosh on the other side? No. I'm going to be presumptuous enough to say that there might be a mistake in the instructions. I know that's very, very bold of me. But if you look at step 2, it says that we're supposed to put the one with the swoosh next to the black. But look at the 3 that are lined up of these little clear window pieces, and you can see that the swoosh is most definitely on this piece right here. Now they either gave us 2 of the same, because I double checked this and it is correct, and the swoosh is back here on the white. So if we disobeyed the instructions and we put the swoosh on by the white 1x1 plates, not plates, I'm sorry, bricks. We did it like that. When we put it in, the swoosh is going to be identically in the same, like perfectly symmetrical to that over there. I think it might be a mistake. So I'm going to go my own way here, and I'm going to put the swoosh next to the white. so that my car looks the same on both sides. Even though that's a little bold of me, but do you see how it's right here? And then if you turn it around, it's right there. So that's how I'm gonna put mine together. I have no idea if that was a mistake in the printing and it pointed to the wrong spot is all. But that's what I'm gonna do. Let me know what you do. Maybe your book doesn't have that, or you are seeing it differently that makes more sense. And I'm missing something. I could be missing something here. One of these in a corner. I think it goes, yeah. It's the same on both sides there. Finding a mistake within the instructions that LEGO makes is so uncommon that you pretty much assume that it's a mistake that you are making, but very, very, very rarely I have to disobey orders there and I think I'm gonna do it this way. This is gonna get pushed down into those connection points that are underneath of there. That fits perfectly. Oh, we need that other, from the extra bag, we need the back window. This is gonna have to go in at an angle too. Very nice. Oops. Something feels wrong here. I'm wondering if I put this on the wrong piece. I did. I must have grabbed, look at that. I needed the 8 long and I picked up the 6 long. That's not going to be helpful at all, is it? I didn't count. Ran into a problem. There we go. And then this goes on here. This nice big window. It's got a little bit of kind of a scratch on it. That's interesting. Normally they don't come with that. I do that myself. Accidentally. Okay, we need the ones with just the little hand clasp on it. Versus these that have like the, what do you call that? It's like a connection point, but it kind of does a little, it holds it a little bit more securely as it bumps down. Now where's the other one though? Here he is. Be glad when we get rid of some of these pieces. My eyes are playing tricks on me. Let's go in over there, and then we need just a smaller one to fit into the middle there. A lot of times what I'll do is I'll actually take the time, if I had this many pieces, to actually sort them out. Kind of like piece style there. But so we're going to hook it in like this. Okay, so you see these little, my finger would get out of the way, the little red clasp in there. So they're going to connect into those little white ones we put in. And then these will connect down right there. It's connected in 2 spots. Nice, very nice. We still have to make the back cover for the engine. Don't we have a ways to go? Gotta put the wheels on. Okay, this is gonna go here. I should do some research on who actually designed the Porsche. You don't hear about it as much. You hear about Ferrari a lot. But you don't hear about, well, I mean, I'm sure people who are way more into cars than I am hear about it, but I haven't caught this one, so that would be a cool thing to learn. Maybe there's a documentary on it that they've made. Wouldn't that be fun? Now we need the 6. but it goes down one. Putting a whole bunch of these little grill covers in. These are fun pieces that when I'm building on my own, I don't really know what I'm supposed to do with as much. But I'd like to learn how to integrate them more into builds somehow. I need to start being much more creative about where to put them. Oh, we need some more. Oh, is this the back? I'll bet you were making the cover for the engine here. Oh, I had it upside down. Wow. And one more, there we go. So, make sure I'm on the right page here. Let's set that down for a minute. We have something else to build. Looks like it overhangs by one to fit all of them in because it needs 4 of them. Yeah. Now there's those other little connection points. It's a fancy back cover. So I don't think it's the top of the roof because that wouldn't make sense as much to have all those grates on it. Ever get it where it gets stuck and then it won't go ahead and because this wall of bricks in front of it is, there we go, kind of keeping it from pushing down. We need one more of this. There we are. Now, this is interesting. I need to flip it. That's why that's interesting. It wouldn't go the other way. It was hitting the little connection points. Interesting because I can't see anything, right? This part is going to go on top of this part. And it looks like it's hooking it at the top and this kind of center it. There we go. Push down. Beautiful. We still have more to do. Put that down again. I thought I would be connecting it soon. Oh, wait. Those go up against that, not above it. At least we're getting some pieces knocked out here. These last 2 bags are making us work for this, aren't they? I didn't want to give it to us easy. Because I felt like that up until this point it actually has been cruising along, but it could just be that there's just a lot of pieces and that's throwing me a bit, but it also feels like I'm having to pay a lot of attention to make sure that I'm not doing something wrong. Which I'm very good at. Now let's see here, I want to make sure. So we've got these little angle pieces in and they need to go, but they stay with the angle that's there. And then, nope, it's the flat tiles that go there. So then we need the opposite, there we go. So it curves inwards like that. Okay, how this attaches to that. Goodness, we're not done yet. They're gonna keep us working on it. Can find all our pieces here. Let's see. I have one more that's hiding from me. Back here. Now there's one of these first one I pick up. That's pretty awesome. That has a turbo on it. I'll film the rest of them. How cool is that? Gotta love it when that happens. But now I need one more that's hiding here. Now this, we're gonna turn it up and over and flip this around. It's gonna go on there. Oh, is this like the spoiler? No, that wouldn't be. Does it have a spoiler? So it goes like this on it. Is that right? Well, the first thing I did was put this on wrong. Turn it around. Ah, stop popping off. Now it goes this way. Wow, that's pretty bad. Now it fits on. Okay. Now it's gorgeous. Look at that. That's fabulous. Before, not so much. Okay, I want to make sure that one's laying straight for me. There we go. Okay. Got the engine all covered up. And I think now we're going to work on the roof. You can't have a convertible when it's going to be flying through the road this fast, right? Or the racetrack. I think if I owned a race car company, I'd probably want to be able to drive the car. I'd probably be one of those people. Just let me get behind the wheel. But I have no idea if I would have, here we go. Couldn't find that piece. The bravery, or if my nerves would get in the way to actually race cars. One of my daughters would. She asked the other day, she's like, can I be a race car driver? I'm like, no. She could if she wanted to be, and I would support her, but what a terrifying thought. That's not the one we need. It needs to be just plain white. Don't put the license plate up on top of the car. These little things are going to go here and here. Oh, that was simple. We're going to attach it right in here. Let's just make sure we don't push something in the wrong direction. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That is a little bit tricky. It goes, but it's like, okay, how in the world? We have everything on there correct. But you almost have to get in on the sides and push them in. There we go. Okay. There we go. It's laying a little bit bumpy up there, but not enough to fuss at. All right, push it down. Okay. Now what in the world? I think we're going to actually work. We have the wheel spots connection for here, but I think this side we don't, the back. We might have to actually make something to hold the wheels on the back side of the car. I was actually taking a break, and I actually talked to my son, and I was like, I was right? That was a suspension that I was working on, right? I was correct. He was proud of me for knowing, and then he asked me, he had to quiz me because he said, okay, so what is the suspension? What does it do? And so then I gave the best answer that I could, and he gave me an A for effort. I said, I'll take it. I said, was I at least going down the right path? And he said, yes. I'm like, okay. sent him a picture of it, and he said it was, what did he call it, a boxy suspension? I said, well, it is in brick form. And he said it'd drive a little boxy too. Wow. There has to be a difference between the real Porsche and this version. You couldn't expect the same, could you? These go into there. Oh, don't fly away on me. Here and here. Yep. All right, we're going to turn this guy over. And with the yellow up, there's this bar in here. And we're going to push it down top of the bar. Just like that. But don't turn it over just yet. We've got to do a couple things I'm trying to identify. So we're going to be working right here. Let's see if he can rest on his hood. He can, okay. And it reminds me of stuff to work on underneath. Thought there's a lot of pieces left if we just have to put the wheels on. So this one's going to go over here. And then this one will go here. Yeah. Turning it around and around. Not getting anything correct. And it says it needs 4 of these. Oh, okay, so they go here. It's probably gonna be making you sick walking back and forth. And then we'll spin it and do it on the other side. You know, if you flipped over in a crash, you'd spin pretty good on this. That's not funny. All right. We still haven't flipped over. Now, where are we going to work? So they have them facing this way. And we're going to work in these 2 spots, it looks like. But to start with, we're going to work on this side. This is very confusing. Very confusing. It's not that one. Nope, it's not that one. Where are you? It's this one. So this one is going to go on top of... That doesn't work. Oh, he sticks out. That's weird. Okay, we're going to do what they say. Because unless I have really, really, really good evidence that it might be incorrect like the other thing, I'm going to assume that they are always correct. So we have those 2 in, and we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to do them with this next side here. Where's this angle? Nope. That's going to go there. Obviously going to probably put something on top of it. Oh, it's the wheel. Do they call that the hub? That's what always confuses me. Is the wheel hub where, like the outside part where the wheel actually goes into? Now we're going to flip him back over, but they have him facing this way. And we're going to put 2 of these on here and here, and then make a little something for the middle. There we go. That looks awesome. And then that one goes right in the middle there. Let me guess, we're going to do the other side or maybe something else. Yep, okay. Very stylish back there. Isn't that nice? Ooh. Don't run away. We're still going to need you. I can't believe we made it through all those pieces. Give ourselves a pat on the back. Right, let's get some tires out here. Put them in the little, maybe that's the hub. No, what is that? Oh my goodness. I'm gonna have to go research cars. Because now I can't remember what this is called that the tire sits on. If you're a car buff, please educate me. What is this? What is this called? I know that's the tire. And then what is this little area that you stuff it into called? I'm gonna put them on. Yeah, so this, the stylish part goes out. We're gonna try to, it could be a little tricky to get it lined up because it's not just round, it's got the little X to it. There we go. I'll do both sides here. I have a feeling that we're going to put these little gray pieces on it. And that's why you're seeing the bar come through there. Come on, little guy. It's satisfying when you can actually get it lined up right. You know, it might be helpful if we turned our wheel. There we go. I'm working with it crooked. Fair at all. Now, where are you? There we go. These front ones kind of jiggle around because they turn. Yep, that's what I thought. He wants to seal them up. Hubcap. But isn't that the thing that goes on the outside of this frame? Like they have the frame and the hubcap all together here. I'm going to put this back one on because it stays still. Okay. I might actually have to put it down so its wheels can't move as easily. There we go. Holding it up, the wheels are just able to move a whole lot easier. All right, and then they have this plate on there. I gave us a couple different ones, so I guess that you could, it says 2. So I'm guessing they want us to put this one on the back. My guess, this might be a European plate. That's American or US. And this is from, oh my goodness, I'm not sure what country that is from in Asia. So there you go. We built a really awesome car, and I'm glad you were here to build my favorite car with me. I think he looks amazing, and I know he would look great in the convertible version too, but we'll have to do that at another time. So you have a super good day, and we'll build again together soon.